It's a high drive center field. Beer leans back. This game is turned upside down. Pujols into the air. It's deep to left. Taylor's back at the wall. It's 700.
On fly ball. Deep right. There it goes. Soaring into history.
Fastball hit to left. It is long gone.
Hello and welcome to Swing for Contact's Baseball Podcast. It is episode 23. It is August 19th. We are recording at night because our schedules are insane right now. And as you can see, we are down a man. No big deal. Aden, how are we doing today?
Pretty good. Get to watch a little baseball and football today, so it's a good day.
Facts.
Mix in a little soccer with it too, you know. Got to keep it fresh.
Who's the soccer? Who's the actual football team that we're watching?
So, never watched soccer really in my life. Had to bandwagon, of course, so we're a Man City fan now.
Oh, okay.
Get to watch Holland tap in. Been playing a lot of FIFA, so got into it.
I've never been a FIFA guy. I've never been a soccer guy, but I do love watching the highlights of soccer stuff.
I get that. It's crazy what they can make that ball do, like spin wise.
Like in college, I would be up at like 3 a.m. after right before like the games overseas would kind of really kick off, and they'd have all their pregame show stuff going, and they'd have their highlights rocking, and those were some good times when I couldn't go to sleep. But
Saw William Powell the other day at Cracker Barrel, and he walked in with a soccer jersey on. So he told me he watches a lot of it. So I don't know how into it he is, but he seemed pretty into it.
He's very into it. He'll wake up at 4 a.m. sometimes to watch matches.
That's wild.
The thing about him is that he'll watch like a day's worth of baseball games, cap it off with night hockey, and then he'll wake up at 4 a.m. to watch 2 or 3 soccer games.
I'd like to get into hockey too, man. It's just like I watch on all these illegal sites because I'm not paying for actual websites, and it's like it's not in the best definition. Like it's like usually like 760p or something, and you can't see the puck. Like it's just too blurry. I can't tell what's what half the time. So
it's probably less than 700 if you can't see the puck.
Maybe. I don't know. My eyes don't like 700.
I forget that you grew up before the days of 480 and 360 were normal.
I couldn't, man.
You get used to it. I remember the first time I saw like a 4K TV and I was blown away. I was watching I forgot what movie it was, but the first time I could like differentiate the foreground and the background on like a movie screen.
Well, I had an Xbox 360 for the longest time. Like even when the new Xbox came out, when I switched from the Xbox 3 or the Xbox One, not 360. When I switched from the Xbox One to the new Xbox, it's crazy. Like everything's just so much like clear, runs better. It is nice. So I did have an Xbox 360 too. No, I played the Xbox 360 a lot in my days. We never had online though. It was just straight Call of Duty campaigns, play them 40 times, know where everything is. Madden, just
offline single player franchise.
Not even franchise. I just make a guy. Like I'd make a halfback and just run for 500 yards every game. Like I'd break every record and feel good. I had a couple hunting games and possibly the greatest game of all time, Mario Super Sluggers, the baseball game. Just perfection in a video game right there. I don't know if you've ever played that.
That was not on the 360. That was
Was it not? It was on the Wii.
It was on Nintendo hardware.
It was perfection though.
Mario sports games are always top notch. They always are. I'm hoping for a Mario football game one day. It'd be a lot of fun.
I saw some stuff about that, but I think it was just an idea.
Yeah, it's all proof of concept. But when you were in Houston, back when the season started, you and Noah played on my PlayStation 2, probably for the first time. Mm-hmm. Well, how was that experience?
It wasn't the first time, actually, because my older cousin had one, and I used to play NBA Street every time I went over there. Just games like that. That was brutal, man. Like, I was raking, but It's also I want to go iffy on it. I'm the only one that hit a home run. So
You did hit a home run in the 3 games that y'all played.
I was playing with a terrible team too, man. I picked the Marlins for some reason.
What are you talking about? You had young Miggy Cabrera.
I had him, but like I wanted Ichiro, and I wasn't thinking at the time.
About it being a 2005 game.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, let's see, last team Ichiro was on was the Marlins. No, it was Marlins and Mariners, but the last team I can remember him really playing for was the Marlins. So I was like, I'll just go the Marlins and I'll get Ichiro and I'll get to hit with Ichiro. No, that didn't happen.
All right, we've spent enough time away from baseball here. We've gone on some a little tangent. Just to get us back on topic here, this AL West. It seems like every time Houston is struggling, I look up and the Rangers are kind of struggling a little bit. It's been like a 2-game thing the entire time since the All-Star break.
Whatever team's struggling, the other team is too. If we're hot, y'all are hot. And then the freaking Mariners are coming up on both our tails, and it's kind of pissing me off.
Oh, you and me both, because they're in Houston right now, and we're about to lose back-to-back games to the Mariners. And the pitching has been bad. The offense has been bad. Our lineup construction has been bad. I don't like what we're doing in Houston right now. It's kind of ticking me off. We're not playing like we've got a lead. We're playing like we have a lead when we're chasing action right now, and I hate that. It's very lackadaisical baseball.
I will say this. The best part about us being in this kind of like race right now is anytime the Rangers lose, I'll go on Twitter and I'll see the Rangers post, and the first 10 comments are always from Astros fans like Laughable Houston, LLC, and he'll be like, haha, fraud team. And it's like, y'all are losing to the Mariners right now. What are you talking like? And it's we both lose on the same days, and he does that every day. He's got post notifications on for the Rangers.
Dude, when we win and lose, we get trash talk from everybody. So like, we're just spreading the love for everyone else to experience that. Fans are dumb.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
My bad. We had a Rangers fan on Twitter yesterday, actually, or not yesterday. It was the John Gray game. He gives up 1 run, but he had had a lot of base runners on, but only 1 run was given up in 7 innings. And the guy goes, "This is ridiculous. Gray doesn't need to start another game if we're serious about winning." And I said, he gave up 1 run, and he was like, the team doesn't want to put run support behind him. That's his fault. And he was completely serious. It was so funny.
Listen, I watched Roger Clemens pitch to a 1.9 ERA back in 2005, and he couldn't he would lose 1-0 games back to back starts in 2005, and it was just it's so painful to watch those games because Clemens is pitching for a Cy Young. He's pitching on his last real tank of gas.
Yeah.
And this team is not helping him at all. But then Brandon Backey goes out there, has a 4.6 ERA, but we're scoring 6-7 runs a pop for him. And it's just guys, can we just score 1 for Clemens?
Martin Perez this year versus John Gray this year. John Gray will go out there. He threw 9 innings against the Cardinals of 1-run ball and lost the game because they won. But Perez went out there and would give up about 6 runs a game, but he also had the most run support in the MLB at 7 runs a game when he pitched.
Jeez.
It was crazy.
You're telling me with the #1 offense in Major League Baseball, y'all can't get John Gray some run support?
We can't. We forget how to hit when John Gray's on the mound sometimes, man. There are games we have hit when he's been on the mound, but usually those games are when he's doing bad. It's wild.
Okay, so right now, the Atlanta Braves are a wagon. We've known this.
Yeah.
They have the #1 run scoring differential. Actually, they have the #1 offense right now, too.
Which about that, man? They freaking, what's it called? What's it called when you run up your stats on
stat padding?
Someone they stat padded that, and it pisses me off. They played both New York teams back to back, so They scored 21 to 27 runs against the Mets. I can't even remember how many in one game. And I sat there like, they're really going to pass us in runs scored because of these two series.
They swept the
crazy.
Yankees.
They swept the Yankees and the Mets, I think.
The Mets? Okay, I didn't remember if they got the Mets in 3-2. Man, I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound maybe a little bit mean, but it's New York, so I feel like it's okay. Sometimes when I'm feeling bad about, like, how Houston's playing at times, or just, like, watching, or if I'm just, like, down on myself or something like that, I might go to YouTube and watch, like, fan reactions to the ALCSs against Houston. And just see, like, really sad, like, baseball fans, and, like, go watch ESPN's reactions and see, like, all the sad broadcasters that the Yankees aren't winning, and go watch Stephen A. Smith rant about the Yankees or something like that. It just makes me feel good about myself a little bit. And that, you know, will at some point run out and come back to bite me, I know. But for now, it's working. And so I haven't had that in my life. And now it helps. It helps. But the Braves, I bring it up because they got the number 1 offense. You guys technically have the number 2 right now. But you're at plus 189 run differential, the Rangers.
Yeah.
What is your guess for the Oakland Athletics run differential right now?
I saw it the other day. It's got to be in the negative 200s, I think. I think it was low negative 200s. Like
Aden.
203.
They're at negative 287.
Oh my gosh.
287.
Hey, you know what is happening though? They called up 2 prospects. The lesser likely one has been killing it. Zach Jaloff.
Yeah.
Is it? He's Jewish. It's a weirder last name. He's been.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Man.
Soderstrom's been iffy, but.
Which, I mean, Soderstrom went through their system as a catcher, and so like.
Yeah, he's a catcher first baseman, I think.
Yeah.
And he was their highest ranked prospect, but he wasn't he was like in the high 20s, 30s. He's that kind of guy. Sometimes the prospect system isn't that good though.
It's
sometimes
never very good.
It's just aren't that.
It's like JP France was an unranked guy, and he's come off the scene to.
How old was he? How old is he?
Oh, that's a great question, Aden. That's a question.
Isn't it once they reach 24 or 25, they're off the prospects list?
Probably something like that. And he's an older guy. Let's see. France is. Yeah, he's just a few years younger than I am. He's 28 years old.
That's
yeah, I mean,
why he wasn't.
Yeah, so he's not going to be on like MLB's pipeline. He's not really going to even be on the Astros pipeline. But you know, he's pitched himself to a 2.75 ERA in 17 games started. He's come out of the bullpen for a game. I mean, the dude's been really good, and so like at the end of the day, rankings don't mean jack until you get underneath the lights.
Yeah.
Which, you know, sometimes a guy like Ellie De La Cruz just obliterates those lights. Like he hit a triple off the wall today and then scored on an error or a wild pitch or something like that.
It was it was an inside the Little League home run. It was a triple, and then the throw missed the cutoff man, and Vladdy, being 290 pounds, couldn't get out there far enough to get the ball. And I'm a big guy too. I can say that. He was like chasing the ball with his glove out and couldn't get it. And Ellie saw this and he started running. The pitcher got the ball, flipped it to the catcher, just wasn't in time.
Gotcha.
So.
He's electric. And you know, everyone kind of knew that he was kind of be that way, but sometimes you find guys that are diamonds in the rough, and that's honestly, to me, that's what good franchises can do. Is like even guys that no one knows about, they can bring them up and they can produce, and that's kind of been Houston's MO for a little bit now.
I don't know if I've ever seen a second round pick, or not second round, a number 2 overall pick more disrespected than Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt Jr. has been tearing it up recently. I freaking love Bobby. I remember last year, everyone was hyping up O'Neal. You'd ask the question, O'Neal, Cruz, or Bobby Witt, and people would say, like, people that didn't know baseball were saying O'Neal, Cruz. Like, they watched baseball, but they didn't, know it. Everyone wanted or liked Odell because of his hype. Bobby Witt's kind of that under the radar, second overall pick under the radar, but he's the future at that position. Which, if we're talking about the future of that position, we can go ahead and skip into another guy who was looked at to be the future of the position. Thoughts on Wander Franco's situation? That was
Okay, what the segue? Quite the segue. Real quick on Bobby Witt before we get to that. Bobby so far this year, 122 games played, 140 hits, 24 doubles, 24 home runs. So he's getting the pop game and 7 triples. He's gotten 36 stolen bases.
Mm-hmm.
A 281, 320, 502 slash for an 823 OPS at the shortstop position. Anytime you get a shortstop with an 800 OPS, you raise your glass to that because you got to be able to field it, and he can sling that, or he can swing the stick too. So he's been really impressive.
And he wasn't doing that well to start the season off. Like, I don't know if it's two months in, it was kind of worrying me, like kind of how he was hitting. Knew he had Dubon home run. Knew he had that potential, but didn't know how he was going to perform on the big stage. I really feel for him being on that Royals team. Terrible future, terrible present. Hope he gets out of there. To be honest, they're one of the only teams without a top 100 player. I think there's 2, y'all and them, or top 100 prospect.
Probably.
Which is wild to have a bottom 2 to 3 prospect tier list when you've been tanking for the last 5 years trying to rebuild is pretty pathetic.
Yeah, it's crazy that the Royals have not been able to garner any respect in the prospect pipeline. It's just probably a lot of bad decisions along the way and draft picks not panning out for them. Not a good look, and you don't really have pieces to sell to bring pieces in right now. Like, you are simply relying on draft stock at this point in international free agents. You asked about Wander and this. So, and just for comparison's sake, real quick, Wander has slashed 281, 344, 475. So a little bit higher on base, a little bit less slugging. Kind of makes sense, honestly. Dude, this is insane because you've said it a couple times. You'll probably never see Wander play a Major League Baseball game again. I think back to the Pirate situation with Felipe Vasquez, who was day one, instantly out the door, blackmailed forever, will never be a pro baller in America again. And Wander, who just got the Rays' richest contract in team history.
Sorry,
over the shoulder. Richest contract in team history. You've been deemed the Prince of Tampa Bay, and you were the number 1 prospect in baseball for multiple years. And due to personal choices off the field, your legacy is always going to be that with a long word that starts with the P next to it, probably.
Which I will say this, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's just looking like it's getting close to being confirmed.
Right.
With the same guy that reported that he had the source that told him about the contract, that same source told him it doesn't look like he'll ever play again. So that's why it's looking like he's never going to play again.
I will say this, and this is not on topic of, the young lady or him as a person or anything like that. This is more of just like a quick personal note that not really about the situation, but I had bought into the Wander Franco hype for a little while, and I had a autographed bat of his that I was kind of placing just in case he really came off huge.
Yeah.
I flipped it a few months back on eBay and was able to make a couple different purchases instead. And I am now very happy that I made $20 off that Wander Franco bat and no longer stuck with it, because that could be bad.
I'll also say this. It's not even looking like the girl that exposed him on Instagram is the girl that's that he's in trouble with the law for. So apparently his second girl, I don't know if she's the same age or if she's younger. Apparently she reported him to the police in the DR, and that's what they've been investigating along with the Instagram post.
Yeah, didn't
So
he
I
had
think
like a
a lot of
complaint
people don't
filed like
realize
way
that.
before, right?
I don't know if it was way before. I don't know when it was filed. I don't know if the girl posting on Instagram encouraged that girl to come out and put the file out. Because, it's the DR. Some scary stuff can be going on around there, especially in circumstances like this. That's all I know. I also know that he is filing a lawsuit against a third girl. So I don't know enough about it to know about that. But
Yeah, over the next few months, probably for how this is gonna play out and pan out, this could be a wild ride for him and his close relatives and the Rays organization as a whole.
have we ever seen a bigger fall off from a team? Like in a single season, not one season to the next, in a single season. They started off on one of the greatest winning streaks of all time. They were head and shoulders above every other team. All their starting pitchers, like half of them start getting injured. Players stop hitting as well. All-Star break comes, All-Star break goes. They come out terribly. And now they're franchise cornerstone, first guy they've really given a big contract in-house. It's going to get voided if this is all true, and he's done. I mean, it's just, wow.
No team can keep up that winning pace the entire time.
Oh, yeah, no, it's just like,
They're sitting at 592 right now on the winning percentage scale. I kind of figured that they would drop somewhere in that 590 to low 600s by the time the season really kind of got rolling. So they're kind of where I thought they would be in terms of win-losses.
and I know what you mean by this. Like, I'm not talking about as in their
But,
win-loss kind of right
yeah.
now, but like the future of their
The
franchise.
franchise outlook right now, it has been a jank franchise system
Yeah.
right now. And you
And, like,
get
no one's-
Glass now back, but you've lost McClanahan. Springs is out.
2 years.
Yeah.
This year and next year.
Yeah, he'll miss. Like, there's a chance like he could make it back around August of next year, but he'll probably
Ooh, I don't know about that.
chance.
You think so?
Here's the thing: surgery
DeGrom
rehabs.
was said to come back like in August next year.
Yeah,
Possible.
that's your target date. That's your like back in the majors date probably. But rehabs and procedures, like a lot of things can happen at different timetables. Different bodies recover different rates. DeGrom's a little bit older of an arm too, who's been through this kind of stuff before, so it's going to take him a little bit longer. This is really McClanahan's first round of this kind of stuff, and he's still.
Is it?
I think so.
No, this is a second TJ. I saw a video on it the other day. It's his second in 7 years. He had his first one 7 years before this.
Okay, I just missed the first one then. But he's still a younger guy. He can probably bounce back a little bit before. Well,
Yeah.
Everything I've ever heard about Rays pitching, like in their system and the way they kind of like do their arm routines and their arm care, it's very different from a lot of teams.
Mhm.
And it's something that they've been doing for a long time. And I don't know, it just seems like no matter what, the Rays always seem to have a pitcher go down with arm issues, seems like every year. And it's always like their young studs that they've brought on and relied on. And man, I don't know why they do some of the things that they do or that I've been told that they do. But man, I know you go to the Rays and they kind of unlock your potential as a pitcher sometimes. But their arm care routine, I think, needs a
That's
different kind of look because it's rough going over there, and it seems like every year there's a Glass now, a Blake Snell, Jeffrey Springs, Pete Fairbanks, McClanahan twice now, and it's just like, guys,
That's
we
their
got to do something
TJ
better.
this year, isn't it?
It's at least their second. I don't know.
Rasmus.
Oh gosh, I even forgot about him. Yeah, Rasmussen.
Yeah, Drew, Springs, and McClanahan, they all got TJ this year, didn't they? Trying to think. And Shane, his arm has always gotten like kind of iffy as the year went on. Like the advanced statistics show you that his it just kind of goes down. It's kind of the same for Shohei, but I think that's more of a workhorse problem because he's hitting and he's pitching. But McClanahan, it's happened every year with the Rays, so I don't know.
Shohei gets very few true days off from a game where, he's recovering at a different rate. So it makes sense for him to kind of have some issues a little bit down the road. But let's get off the Rays. Like it's weird, man. I hope. I've always been, last thing about the whole Franco thing, I've always been a guy that is hopeful on a person's character kind of coming through and innocent till proven guilty, and like he doesn't have to be a monster kind of thing. But by the looks of things, it's a very bad look for the organization, very bad look for him. I hope it's not the case, but as of right now where we sit, it's kind of looking like the case. But until he gets fully until the investigation's over with and all that stuff, it's all speculation. And anybody that does hear this thinking one way or the other, I just want to remind you of that.
Which that also does make you think. I don't know if you remember a little bit earlier in the season, he got suspended or he got taken kind of benched for a couple days. And the Rays said it was kind of because how he acted. Could something else have happened? It kind of brings a little suspicion onto that.
It does bring suspicion onto you.
But it's just...
Let's go to a feel-good story for a second, Aiden.
Okay.
The fans in Philadelphia held a standing ovation for your boy, Trey Turner, when he was just in the mud. Could not get anything going. Offense was bad. Felt like a bad signing. And since then... he's done nothing but rake. And as of, he homered twice in the same inning today as the Phillies just took utter control of the Washington Nationals. On the road, Trey Turner is finally kind of playing like he did in the World Baseball Classic in some ways.
Got 660 something OPS in his last 15 games, or not OPS, slugging.
Yeah,
he's been hitting, man.
It's been impressive to watch, and I don't really keep track of the Phillies very much. I don't really keep track of him during the streak, but every day it seems like I've looked up and there's been some kind of note on what Trey Turner's done offensively over the last week, over the last 2 weeks, over the last couple series. And I wanted to pull this up real quick. So, looking at his game logs. So, let's see. This is the beginning of the year. Take me back to... Okay, so... He has climbed his average... since the start of... Or wait, I'm sorry. His slugging has gone up like 10 points over the last 10 days. And it's kind of crazy that he's been hitting as well as he has. He's back, like he's back in the 400s now. And in the month of August alone, his slugging is 576 this month. He's hitting 303, 352, 576. And in July, he was hitting, for the month of July, he hit 218, 269, 356. Like, this has been a complete and utter turnaround for Trey Turner. How long do you think he can keep this going? Is this what he's going to be? Is this just him being hot? He'll be back to not hitting at all? Like, what's happening in Philadelphia right now?
Well, there's been a big problem with his game for the past couple of years. And it's kind of something I talked about at the beginning of the season whenever we were first going on about, like, Trey. And I said that he chases out of the strike zone too much. And he's usually a really good fastball hitter. This year he hadn't been, and he still was chasing. And it's just hard for him to keep up those stats with it. I haven't looked at the past 15 games, so I don't know if he's like not chasing as much or what's happening, if he's just seeing the ball better. But it's really good to see, man. Like if he can just get the chase rate down, he's gonna be back to how he was. Like I fully believe that. He's too talented of a ball player not to be. It's just he's gotta do that.
He's the first Major League Baseball player to hit a homer twice in the same inning off the same pitcher since David Ortiz in 2008. And Turner is also just the fourth shortstop with a 2 home run inning since 1974 and the first since 2010. So
Is Tatis' father one of the guys that hit
yes.
2 off the same pitcher?
I don't know if it was the same
Slams,
pitcher.
wasn't it? I was about to say I don't know if it's the same pitcher.
It might not be the same pitcher, but it definitely was 2 in the same inning.
If it was him. 2 grand slams, I think. Like I said.
Yeah, that video is very fun to watch if you have not seen it in a while. I'd encourage you. The Phillies are 67 and 56. They're not catching the Braves. They're 13 games back of the Braves, but they do have a 3.5 game lead over the last wild card spot. It's looking like they're going to be able to hold down a spot if they keep kind of going at this pace.
They're a late half team, and I hate that I forgot about that in our preseason rankings. I hate that I put them above the Braves because
you just were expecting them to go full speed from the get-go.
I did. I thought the pickups would help them. It didn't help them to start it off, and they just came into it slow and came out in the second half like they've been doing.
Well, if they were in the Central, they'd be tied for first place.
Yeah. I also, I guess, underestimated not 6 of the Braves, but 3 of the Braves. I really did not think we're going to beat Orlando Arcia. I didn't like Ozzie Albies' bat. I still think this may be one of the worst, if he hit 40 home runs, one of the worst 40 home run seasons I've seen. Who else was it? It was their left field. Their left field. I had no confidence in their left field bat. Pretty sure they've been decent at that this year. What's his name? I knew he can be a good bat. I just didn't think he'd be,
I mean, he's not a guy you hang your hat on, but
Marcelo Zuna's got like 25 home runs.
Yeah.
Michael Harris sucked, and now he's, kind of hitting again.
Yeah, he's about his average all the way back up to 287, 336. So he's been doing pretty well.
Sean Murphy got out of his Oakland prison where he could not hit the baseball, but he hit in away games, and who knows? Look at that. He's hitting because he's not in the Coliseum. It's just Olsen is the second best first baseman in baseball right now. He's not better than Freddie. I don't care what any of our viewers think. Speaking of that, Freddie or Acuna right now, MVP?
Oh, man, with what? That's a great question. I think what I have to look at with Freddie versus Ronnie is this. From a doubles mechanic, Freddie he's a doubles machine. He always has been, always will be. He's 45 doubles, 23 home runs, and even has 16 stolen bases. Freddie's people underestimate him as a complete bat, and he can do it all. He can hit you the home run, he can get you the double, he can pop the single. Ronald right now has 55 steals, and that has to, I think, it means something. And that's an incredible number. It's an incredible number for anybody, but for like your superstar dude to also be that kind of a dude on the base paths it's a little bit rare, and I think it's got to mean something right now.
There's nothing really defensively to set them apart, in my opinion, because Freddie's first baseman. Defense doesn't really matter. Acuna's a right fielder. Defense isn't the most important thing, but he is not a good defender. He's just not. He's got a really good arm. He's got speed. I've never seen someone read balls worse than... Actually, I've seen Nick Castellanos and Kyle Schwarber read baseballs. I've seen 2 people read baseballs worse than him. But
he definitely is not a Gold Glove out there in right field, but he plays a passable right field. Yeah. Their averages are literally 333 and 334 respectively. Their on bases are 418 and 412 respectively. 573 and 577. These guys are basically identical in their triple slash. They're identical in their home runs. They both have 2 triples. So it's a matter of, do you give Freddie the edge with 45 doubles, or do you give Ronnie the edge with 55 stolen bases? Right now, I think I lean Ronnie just because it's such an incredible number for a superstar to have. But man, it's splitting hairs that tight right now for me.
Which another funny thing about it is the top 4 candidates in the NL are, I'd say, Brave Dodger.
Brave Dodger.
Brave or Brave Dodger. I don't know. Mookie.
2 Dodgers, 2 Braves.
And Olsen's close with me.
Yeah, they're very close.
Because Mookie's showing his ability to play everywhere now. I mean, he's the best second baseman in the league and the second best right fielder in the league. Like, it's crazy.
And they need him to. He can go play shortstop
this year, man. Oh my gosh, 33 home runs. That's crazy from Mookie.
And then, for kind of another Dodger feel-good moment, I guess you could say this, is they cut Cody Bellinger. He's with the Cubbies, and he's probably 5th or 6th.
Dude, he has been crushing the ball. He's going to get paid this offseason.
Yes, he will. I'm trying to look at where Yelich is. Yelich is top 20 in OPS in the National League. Like, he's kind of turned things back around. Bellinger's turned things back around. So those 2, like, lefty monsters from 2019 are kind of back, it seems, which is good.
My man, Royce Lewis got to come back to the field the other day. I love
Royce Lewis.
That was a really good feel-good story, man.
Out of the AL,
so much.
Ohtani obviously is the dog. Like, he's going to win it.
Dude, and we are injuries away from a historic season at the shortstop position. Let me talk about Seager for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
This guy is like 5th in the league in doubles. He's missed 43 games. He's 2nd in all shortstops and home runs, I think. I think Bobby has the lead in that. His OPS was higher than Ohtani's. His average, of course, was higher. I think his on base and slugging were all higher. His WRC plus was higher. It's just a factor if he's missed 43 games, and a lot of people take that away from him. But then you look at his counting stats, and he still has counting stats to compare with every other shortstop. Like, we missed one of the best seasons ever from the shortstop position this year. If not, like, I would be confident to say if he played every game, it would be the best.
It's like, crazy that. And I still, like, we were talking early on, right before they started, I don't think it's the shift. I think he just is having one of those magical seasons. Like, he hasn't had those, like, it wasn't the singles that have made him hit his numbers this good. It's the doubles. Yeah. It's the home runs. And he has just been on a tear from go.
Yes. There's also a mindset, I think, to the shift. You feel more comfortable pulling the ball. So I think he maybe feels a little more comfortable being able to do that. But yeah, he's seeing the ball so well. He's kills off speed, swings at every first pitch, doesn't matter where it is. It's stupid. He's
Jose Altuve, man.
It's story, dude. Jose, I love watching his at bats, man. He just freaking swings the piss out of that bat. That's like
the same size as he is.
It's 2 inches taller than him, and he's like. I feel like if he makes contact, it's gone every time. Like, it's just he swings that bat so hard.
Like, the very first swing of today, like, it might have been the second pitch, but he hit one out here, like, right below his eye level. Like, you can see on the picture, it was like his eyes, the bat, the ball, his mouth. and he smoked it into left field for a nice, easy single. And it's just like, well, that's what Altuve does. Real quick on him, he got his career 2,000th hit today. Shout out to Jose Altuve for 2,000 career knocks.
Elvis Andrus got it first. I'm just going to say that.
He got it first. Altuve did it faster.
I don't know about faster because, like,
yeah, he did it faster.
I don't know, man.
How many times has Elvis Andrus had over 200 hits in a season?
Hey, that doesn't matter.
It kind of matters when you're
that's a-
trying to
that's a
get to that number
workhorse.
fast.
That's a workhorse.
That's literally what faster means in this game.
Nope.
Let's
I don't-
see.
If
I'm curious.
If I went to Mexico today and you went to Mexico tomorrow, who got there faster?
That's not the same conversation.
We'll debate about it later. Let's keep going on.
For the record, Andrus in 2012 had 180. 2017 he had 191. Yeah, no, nothing over 200, but very good baseball player. Don't let me take anything away, but like had a great career to get 2,000 hits. Anytime you get 2,000, it's remarkable. Good for him. But Altuve did it faster than Craig Biggio, so like.
Craig Biggio was a catcher
for a while.
I know. He played a lot of positions.
Second base, left field,
catcher,
center field.
second. Yeah. I love Biggio, man. I wish that his card had more power than it does. I would use it.
Yeah, that was never really his forte. He could do it, but definitely not his strength. But yeah. Real quick, my last thing, the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette comes back off the IL, which is really good for them because they really need to make a surge, and they're holding on to that last wild card spot literally by like a game, I think, right now from the Mariners. Yep. No, they're tied with the Mariners. They're tied right now with the Mariners, and so they need Bichette. I have not looked at their score today. Bo comes back, and the ensuing move is to activate him and get Paul DeYoung, who they just traded for, out of here.
Dude, the freaking Cardinals just, I guess, fleeced the Blue Jays. You know, they got prospects for Hicks. Sucks since he's been a Blue Jay. DeYoung, DFA'd, and they got one more guy. I don't remember who the third guy. Cabrera. Something Cabrera.
Genesis?
Genesis Cabrera, I think.
Let's see, I'm pulling up DeYoung's B-ref real quick. I mean, I get that he wasn't having a good year, but man.
Why did you trade for him? Like, I get you needed the depth with Bichette out. There's no way that you could get a struggling DeYoung and say, this is better than just getting another guy, you know, pulling another guy up, or I don't even know.
I will say they only sent one guy over. They sent over a 24-year-old who's still hanging out like in A-ball, high A-ball. Check that. He's in Double-A with St. Louis now, but they sent over a pitcher with kind of a career minor league numbers of 3.5, who's been, you know, good, but it's definitely a flyer, kind of a pickup for them on just a 1-for-1. But still, you lost a prospect for 18 days of service for Paul DeYoung, and now you're probably eating the rest of his contract too, however much is on that.
I don't even know.
It's good for the Blue Jays to get Bo back, but it's just kind of a head scratching like decision making at the trade deadline to do that. But that was kind of my last little headline, and we've been going for a while. So, do you have anything else we need to cover?
Immaculate Grid.
The Immaculate Grid. I have it pulled up. I have not looked at this one today at all.
I haven't either.
Okay, I've got it on screen. We've got Diamondbacks, Yankees, and a 30-30 batting season on the top. And then on the left, we have All-Star, 300 average, Gold Glove. So a bunch of only 2 teams on this one.
I kind of want to snipe a funny one, but I'm almost 1,000% certain he's not on it. I would love to snipe a Cole Calhoun All-Star, but I don't think he ever made the All-Star game. He got his first hit since like July 28th today, and it was a home run for the Guardians.
All right, here's a Diamondback Gold Glover, Zach Greinke.
That's a good one.
Oh, did I spell his name wrong? I did.
God, everyone's guessing that, man.
15%. All right, who's a Yankee Gold Glove winner? How about...
Hold up, we got to think of something good. I bet even though he won it recently, not a lot of people said Trevino. So I'm gonna go Jose Trevino.
Okay, I'm good with that. Let's see, Jose Trevino. Boom, 4%. We take that.
Okay.
All right, a 30-30 and a Gold Glove.
Unfortunately, did Ricky Henderson ever win a Gold Glove? Because he didn't have a 30 home run season. I know that for sure. I think his max was 28-29. 30-30 and Gold Glove. Let's see. Shit. Are we looking at shortstop? It's a shortstop or an outfielder?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like most recent. Every time I think of a 30-30 guy, though, it's somebody that I don't think has won a Gold Glove. Let's come back to that. Let's come back to that. Arizona All-Star.
Arizona All-Star. You got Longo. You got Randy, of course. Trying to think of something out there. Paul Goldschmidt would be probably guessed a lot, but I really like that one because I love Paul.
Luis Gonzalez.
Good there.
Brandon Webb.
Oh, that one probably is not picked a lot. I'm perfectly fine picking that one.
Okay, let's go with Webb. I think
4%.
2006, I think. Okay.
Longo ever have a 300 average season?
Oh, probably when he was on roids.
I want to play this one safe. Longo or frickin' Paul.
Longo in 2001 definitely hit 300. Definitely, without a doubt.
Did not.
Luis Gonzalez?
Go him or go Goldschmidt. Just don't go Longo.
Did you pick the correct Luis Gonzalez?
I picked Longo, Evan Longoria.
Oh! No, Aiden. What are you doing?
I don't know.
No, Evan Longoria. No.
I think of the wrong thing.
You are 100% thinking of the wrong thing. I'm picking Luis Gonzalez, the outfielder who played from 1990 to 2008.
Yeah, pick that. I'm gonna move on.
Evan Longoria did not play for the Diamondbacks in 2001.
I was very confused. I thought 2001 was really far back, but I was like, you know what? Maybe. I don't know.
Yankees All-Star. Just throw a freaking fish in a barrel.
I want to get something. I wonder how many people said Gary Sanchez. Jose Trevino. Oh, we already used that. Dang it. That would have been perfect. Has Glaber made one?
Probably. I'm trying to think of like an old one that's a lock. That's been like
pick Stanton. There's no way Stanton was picked a lot.
Yeah, we can go Stanton. Let's see.
Stanton.
Giancarlo.
2%.
Okay, we take that.
All right, 300 average and Yankee. Posada ever hit for 300?
Posada was kind of a contact guy. Would not surprise me. My first thought, honestly, was Don Mattingly, but
I'll go Posada. You go Mattingly.
Okay.
Ooh, 1%. Go Posada.
Ooh.
Never mind. We won our score.
6%.
All right, 30 home run, 30
Okay.
stolen base.
Here's the
All-Star.
more difficult ones. Okay, so the All-Star one's not so difficult, I don't think. Ronald Acuna, Bobby Abreu, Jeff Bagwell, Carlos Beltran.
Oh, wait. He did get that, I guess. I'm
Sean
going Ronald.
Green.
I'm just going Ronald.
I'm going Bagwell. F it.
30-30, 300. Well, did Bagwell have a 300 average?
0.5%.
I would have said Bagwell for this one. Did Bagwell have a Gold Glove?
Bagwell, I think, won a Gold Glove. I think. 300 average, 30-30. Oh. How about the fish man himself? Michael Trout. Because Mike Trout does not have a Gold Glove. Okay, so
I got a 61.
let's see.
Most-
Gold Glove, 30-30. Alex Rodriguez.
I went Bagwell, which was a 0.8.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Christian Yelich.
Yeah, yes, he did. Go for something so we can see who had the better score.
You know what? I'm going to win with my pick of Ian Kinsler. Oh, 1%. Dang. What was your rarity?
161.
85.
But you also got all of them. I missed one.
That's true. I did complete the grid. We went with Brandon Webb,
let's do the
Stanton,
most
Bagwell, Gonzo, Don Mattingly, Mike Trout, Greinke, Trevino, Ian Kinsler.
So Luis Gonzalez was the number one guy for your pick. Randy Johnson, Judge, Jeter, Goldie, Acuna was the top pick for the right. Barry. I love the Barry Bonds picks.
That Gold Glove row was the most difficult row according to the accuracy.
What? It looks like it was the All-Star row.
94%, 96%, 86%?
Oh, I'm looking at rarity scores. Never mind.
No, accuracy. So,
Yeah.
All right.
We good for today?
Good way to end things. Good grid. We take less than 100 every time. All right. I'm signing off. Aiden, any last words?
I'm good.
Cool. Check us out next time. We'll be back probably a week from now, maybe with Noah, maybe with not. Who knows? I never know until almost the day of, it seems these days. So thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.
Adios.